Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Bryan W. Adams.
Well, all right. Hey, everybody. This is Bryan Adams. Thank you so much for joining us on this Inspire podcast this morning. It is so good to be with you today. It's something that I have just grown accustomed to just looking forward to every day and preparing for and just getting excited for. And I've got a special announcement today. As you know, we featured the Integrity Idol finalists last week, and they were joined by representatives from their favorite charities that they were supporting, as well as the partners from each of their offices. And the partners were so moved by the finalists' stories and really the impact that the charities had on each one of their lives and the purpose and the passion around giving that they began to start matching donations. It started off with John Bettis saying, listen, I want to match some donations. I want to be part of this. And they caught on like wildfire, and it just took off from there. And by the end of Friday, the partners who had been on the call had reached out to me or had said on the call that they wanted to personally, not corporately, them individually, them and their families personally, wanted to pay up to $5 a vote, up to 1,000 votes for the votes cast for their candidates after their podcast appearances. This started with Tom Sheath saying, listen, this is a huge project here, and we want to support it. And so he and his wife, Shelley, decided to give $5 a vote up to 1,000 votes. And then Mike Wingate went in for it, and it just kind of took off from there. And so after that, these partners started coming to us and saying, hey, I want to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's $5,000 per partner. So as I said, John Bettis pledged to support Candy Golden's charity, the Sharing Jed Foundation. Mike White called in and said, hey, hold on, I want to get in on the fun. I want to support Patrick Cash's charity, the Spivey Hall Children's Choir. Then Dave Thomas at Thomas Arts called in and said, well, hold on, Cameron Rupo's doing so well, and her charity, Love Without Boundaries, really struck a chord. I want to give $5,000 or $5 a vote for that. Like I said before, Tom Sheath came up with this idea, and then Mike Wingate said, I want to support Alyssa Connor's charity, the Briggs and Barrett Project, and I want to give $5. And then I was so moved, I literally cried on Alyssa Connor's podcast. And so I jumped in on that deal personally as well. And then the next day we had P.J. Galloway on, and he was talking about the Greater New Jerusalem Worship Center Outreach Program. And Ryan and Laura and Larry Kimball, I don't know if Larry knows about it, but Ryan and Laura, and then they threw in Larry at the end, said, hey, we want to give to the outreach program. And so they each gave $5,000. And on top of all that, what we were already doing as a contest, that means that the Integrity Idol potential donations to charity now is as much as $75,000. In fact, I also had a few other partners. They didn't want to be named, but I had some employees, I had some partners. They called and said, hey, I want to give to the winners charity. We had a partner, Lenny Anderson, called in and said, I want to give to everybody's charity. But we had some partners call in and say, I want to give $1,000 to whoever the winner is. And this thing has just taken off like I don't think any of us ever thought about. And once we heard about these incredibly generous individuals and what they were willing to do with their own money, not anybody else's money, this is their money that they want to give because they've been so inspired, that we really had no choice but to extend this contest for one extra day to maximize the votes and make sure that everybody's vote gets counted for, and we raise as much money for charity as possible. And we wanted to make sure that everybody in all the offices had had time to go and vote again to support these wonderful charities, and like I said, match and really maximize the partner donations. So we won't be announcing the winner today. In fact, we'll be saving that for a special Inspire podcast for tomorrow. I promise we will announce tomorrow, but we've decided to postpone it just one more day. And I think you all can agree with the amount of money on the line for all these charities and the way that we want to bless others. We want to make sure that we maximize this for everybody. But today, we thought it'd be fun and equally special to bring on and honor an important special guest, a person who, frankly, made the Integrity Idol event all possible in the beginning. Whenever we started the Inspire podcast, we were kind of making it up as we listen. Honestly, we're still making it up as we went along or as we go along. But whenever we started this, the whole idea of the Inspire podcast was we were all going from working in the offices to working remote, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to create community. We wanted to be able to give people an outlet for us to be able to come on, talk about how do we serve others, how do we just get inspired. We didn't want to just motivate people. We wanted to inspire people. And the idea was if we set aside a special time every morning that we could all just call in together as an Integrity family, that we would all continue this community as we went through this working remote process. And as we did that, the idea was let's just get on a call, and then that got transformed into this podcast. That it's amazing. I was talking to a president of an insurance company the other day, and he brought up this Inspire podcast, and I said, I'm shocked that you guys even listen to that. And he said, Bryan, I don't know what you're talking about. The entire industry is listening to you guys. Everybody's listening to you guys because we want to make sure, like, we all need inspiration during these times. And so when we started this, it was something none of us had ever done before. And frankly, whenever we first started getting on these calls, if you guys recall, we had a lot of really bad phone quality. It was, Ring Central was just pounded because we were trying to all get in at the same time. And so part of what we did is we thought it'd be kind of fun to, first of all, whenever we would warm up on the pre-call, we call in 10 minutes early, we still do, and kind of talk, we chat, we try to make sure that everybody's sound check's fine. And then what Ring Central told us is if you guys would start your call a little bit earlier or a little bit later, you'd have better sound quality. And so one of the things we started doing is just, I asked one of our partners, I think I asked Jim Sweeney, the first podcast participant, to sing just kind of on a whim. I was kind of joking. He was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to sing. And then we had Anthony Chapman, AC Chapman, the next time. And I said the same thing to him, and my God, he blew us away. He just blew us away. And then Kendall Spence, who is here in the Dallas office and helps lead our office here in Dallas, she started singing. And after a while, she would sing every morning. And it was just kind of a way for us to lighten up. I've worked with Kendall for about a decade, and I never really knew she even sang. And all of a sudden, she has this amazing voice, and we started hearing her every time be able to sing, and it was so fun. In fact, the singing part really became part of the show. There were so many people calling in early to get part of that that we were ended up having 300 or plus people calling in 10 minutes before just to hear what we talked about before the show and also to hear Kendall sing. And at one point, I can't remember how it came up, but we started having we started seeing some people. So we had Bill Correa play the saxophone. We had some people guest DJ. We saw some other people that were singing or playing the guitar in some of their Zoom calls or their other meeting calls, just kind of as part of this to kind of lighten it up. We and at some point, Kendall said that, man, there's a lot of really talented people here in the Integrity family, and it'd be fun to celebrate with some sort of talent contest to where we could see and hear from others. I don't know if it was because Kendall was tired of being the only one who was singing or what she was thinking, but this idea got planted, and we started just having fun, bantering back and forth, talking about we should create this idea called Integrity Idol. And it grew into something bigger and bigger as we kept on imagining it. And then we said, let's do that. Let's figure that out. And the ironic thing is that Kendall, the person who started this whole thing, she actually filmed the first audition video. And we decided, unfortunately, that it would be unfair. I decided it would be unfair for Kendall to participate in the Idol contest because she had built her own little cult-like following because of how much people had loved listening to Kendall sing every single morning. And so we didn't let Kendall participate in the contest due to her role here on the podcast. And for some reason, I always felt bad. That kind of never sat right with me, quite sat right with me, because of how amazingly talented Kendall is herself. So today, I thought it would be fun, and she doesn't know this, but I thought it would be fun today to have Kendall as our special guest. I want to thank her and honor her for helping all of us get to know each other better, and all of us to create this time together. And as we've been inviting each one of the finalists on to share their story and to share their favorite charity, we thought it'd be fun to have Kendall come on and be able to share some of her story. I've worked closely with Kendall for many years now, and I can tell you that there's no one more committed to what we're doing here at Integrity. She is an absolute vital part of our team here at Integrity, and it's one of the most versatile and capable people that I've ever met, and has become just part of my family. And more importantly, I think she is just one of the best, most genuine people I've ever been around, and I'm extremely grateful that she's been part of my life and my family for all this time. So, Kendall, I know this is a little surprise for you, but welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you enjoying us here, and thank you for inspiring all of us.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you. I didn't know I was going to be the
Kendall, we've been in the office here, and Kendall's been running around. Kendall likes to be prepared, and she's been saying, hey, what's the plan for today? Who's on? Like, what? We're not doing the final. We're not announcing the winner. What's the plan? And I was like, I don't know. I just was kind of, we're just going to make it up as we go. I actually said, Kendall, do you want to sit in the conference room together? And you're like, no, not really. Not for sound quality. It's probably better if we're both on our own phone. So I wish I could have been in there to see your face, but thank you, Kendall. Thanks for inspiring us. Like, thank you. I mean, this whole idea. I mean, this whole idea. Whenever we first started Inspire, was it was just to try to give people community, right? There was a lot of negative. There's still a lot of negative stuff in the world. There was a lot of negative stuff going on in the media and in the news, and people were scared, man. And so this whole idea was kind of birthed out of this idea of let's just come together, talk about positive things. Let's talk about things that we can, get prepared for our day. And man, it's just been a blessing, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when we first said let's have a daily conference call, it was a little daunting just to make sure the phone line worked and that we would have material for every day. But like you said, it's really transformed into something really, really special. that I don't think any of us could have anticipated. And it is a wonderful community that has been created here at Integrity through a really difficult time. And I think it just goes to show that it was here the whole time, and that when adversity strikes, then, like you've said repeatedly, leaders lead through challenges. And so everyone's attitude and excitement for, being on the podcast and listening to the podcast, I think just really shows that we at Integrity are leaders, and that this is something that is worthwhile.
Wow, I totally agree. You even told me one time that, like, some of your friends, like totally unrelated to Integrity, are listening to this, and even watching Integrity Idol, that they're even voting, right?
Yeah. So I'm part of a little community choir here in Flower Mound, and we did a Zoom call with the choir, which was, a bit of organized chaos, trying to get about 90 people on a Zoom call. And we were just kind of sharing stories, and I told them about Integrity Idol, and all of them wanted to see and hear the singing and the talent and get a chance to vote. So that was really fun to see how excited they were for it.
Well, the idea of this community, and I mean, I can't wait to get back in the offices and like get to know these people better, right? I mean, we had some amazing people, from Cameron Rupa to Patrick Cash to PJ to Candy to Alyssa to Justine to Robert Turnbull. We've got Blair Ollendorf. Man, that guy, I want to hang out with that guy. You had Richard Matheson. I just want to hear him slay it again on the guitar. You got Lynn at Multistay. You got Julie, who is super talented and super funny at Golden Care. Jasmine over at AIMC. Like, these are people I want to hang out with, and I just can't wait to be back in offices. Traveling around. Well, now we're back in offices, but when I'm anxious to go into some of these offices and just say, just get to. I feel like I know them well now. I just want to see them. Isn't that amazing how this is all kind of created here?
Yeah, I've loved getting to know more of the backstories and the origin stories from our partners. I feel like I'm in a unique position here in the Dallas office that I get to interact with a lot of the partners, and not everybody at the business units gets to do that, but even I was just shocked and blessed and amazed by all these stories we've been hearing from our different platform partners. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. Well, so it's you and I have worked together for a long time. I never really knew. I knew you sang, I guess, but I didn't know you sang. Type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell us about your musical background. Tell us about how you got into singing and some of your passion there.
Yeah, of course. So I think, like a lot of people, I started singing in church at a very young age. I think opportunities in organizations like churches and community centers that allow children to have that kind of opportunity are really important. So I had a really, really wonderful pastor's wife at my church who was very, very talented. And so she actually started giving me voice lessons when I was a teenager. And so I had several years of voice lessons. And then when I got into junior high and high school, I started in the band. And I knew that I liked music, and my older sister had played the clarinet, and I wanted to be just like my older sister. So I knew that I was going to play an instrument, but didn't really know what I wanted to play. And until one evening I was at a basketball game, high school basketball game. And for whatever reason, I was hanging around the pet band where my older sister was. And one of the, seniors in the percussion section handed me a pair of crash cymbals. and he let me play crash cymbals. I had no idea how to do it, Bryan, but he let me hold these crash cymbals.
Is there anything other than just crashing them together? Is there that much to it? Sounds like I could even play that instrument. It sounds almost like cowbell.
That's probably why. You just bang them together.
Thanks, Stephen.
So he let me hold on to those, but then he let me hold on to them for the national anthem, and I completely messed up the national anthem at a basketball
Oh my
game.
God, you were that person. You're like that. You're just like.
Yeah. Oh my. So then I found out, I was like, I really like percussion. And so I was continuing with the voice lessons, and I was in symphony and jazz band and marching band and played percussion throughout high school and throughout college. So that was just really, really fun. I had so much fun doing all of that. And then I sang in different musicals. So I really liked musical theater in high school and beyond, and did some summer musical camps where it was just so much fun doing things like that. I think theater kids and creative kids are a goofy bunch, but somehow I fit in. And so we, when I went to college though, I went to a conservative school. And so there were a lot of choral groups and just singing groups that you could be a part of. And one of the things that they did as a recruiting effort for the school was they put together like trios or different quartets that would travel to summer camps and youth camps and churches throughout the entire summer to recruit the kids for, their freshman year, recruit high school seniors, and also sell books and CDs and things like that while they were on the road. And so I auditioned to be in one of those groups. I was lucky enough to have been chosen for one of the groups. And that's actually how I ended up meeting my husband, Micah. He and I sang in the same group. We didn't travel together, but we were training together during the fall semester. And that's how I met Micah's sister, my best friend, Rachel, who I've talked about before. So that's kind of how our whole relationship as a family kind of got started, with my husband and I singing together.
Wow, that's such a great story. I can't get past you. You just like with the cymbals. That's too funny. Well, so you started with us almost a decade ago here at Integrity. Mm-hmm. So I was interviewing for a new executive assistant, and I'm pretty demanding. Like this is I don't have a lot of hobbies. I'm really passionate about us trying to accomplish and serve as many people as we can, and I just know where we can go at Integrity, and I've got a clear vision about where we're going, and I've had that for a long time. It just takes time to get there, and so I'm pretty impatient, as you know. Pretty demanding. I want if we do something, let's just go, right? And I want to get there. So do you remember your interview with me whenever you came in?
I do. I remember that.
So in the interview, I liked you so much. I was, we kind of hit it off. We're talking, and I said, listen, this is a hard job. Like, to keep up with me and where we're going is, and we, in retrospect, I don't think we had any idea where we'd get to this point, right? But do you remember what I told you in that interview? Because I was clear. I was one of the things I want to try to be is better with clear communication. I want to be direct because I think it's important to set expectations. And I was clear. This is a really hard job. If you're going to support me and what we're doing, it's going to be really hard. Do you remember what I told you during that interview?
You told me that I wouldn't want this job.
Yeah, I said, Kendall, listen, I really like you. You don't want this job, right? I want to be clear. I was honest. I was totally honest. This is going to be a really tough job. You're not going to like this. You really don't want this job. And your response floored me. Your response. So do you remember your response?
I remember what I thought. I'm not sure I remember what I said because
let's hear.
I thought, does he really want to hire somebody, or like, what are we doing here?
I was honest. Was I? Now you know. Like, I was straight up honest. But what did you tell me? You remember what you told me?
I don't remember. No. What did I say?
You were like, that's fine. That sounds great. I'm ready. I was like, hold on. I think I even said, hold on. I just told you this job's gonna be really hard. I don't think you're gonna like it that much. And you were like, yeah, I heard you. I'm ready to start whenever you want. And that's been almost 10 years ago. That is really, really amazing. You've seen Integrity grow a lot. I mean, you've witnessed it all, like the whole part of the process. What's it been like in your shoes on what we've been going through here?
It's been so amazing to see a company go from when I started with you nearly 10 years ago in our small office in Highland Village, Texas, where I was taking out the trash and I was, making sure the restrooms had toilet paper and doing some of those day-to-day things, which I still can do. I don't mind doing, trust me. And then to see us where we are today, even if I just think about today, this Monday, and we're giving away $75,000 to charity, and it's grown beyond what I've ever imagined. I'm so glad and fortunate and lucky to have been here for the ride and to have had the seat on the bus, like Ryan Shockey said, that I've had. To be able to see the wonderful people that we've joined to the partnership, not only the partners, but every single employee in their offices, and the connections that I've just been able to make nationwide have been so wonderful. I never thought that I'd have a network of coworkers and, to be honest, friends that I can count on that is this wide, that covers this much area, and that I get to be a part of something that at the end of the day, we are helping seniors and we are truly providing a service to them. Even though I might be 6 degrees separated from the actual person who's buying the insurance policy, I know that I've had an important step in changing someone's life and changing the life of that person's family. And that to me is what drives me every day is that at the end of the day, we are about serving the policyholder and our customers and people in our communities. And that makes every day exciting, makes every day a little different, and it gives us all an opportunity to be better every day.
Wow. Well, I don't know how you can say it any better. You've gotten a chance to get to know every one of the partners, and frankly, take great care of all of us in a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. And we couldn't do, on behalf of all the partners, we couldn't do what we like to do and what we feel like is our passion as well here, growing Integrity without you and all the other amazing people that we work with. And so, on behalf of all of us here at Integrity, I want to say thank you for just being just such a great example of a human being. In fact, I got to tell you, I just got a text from Stacy Anderson at American Benefit ABL, and she said, "Kendall is a Wonder Woman, in my opinion. She does it all with a warm smile." And I think everybody feels that way. So, Kendall, you've made this time a joy for us, especially as we got on these podcasts and you would start singing for us. And I'd like for you to sing for us again. We haven't heard from you in a long time. Would you be willing to sing for us again?
You asked me on Friday if I would sing on Monday. And I said, there's no way, because that's when we're doing the Integrity Idol finalists. I'm not stealing anybody's thunder, but if we're postponing, since we're postponing a day, I'd be happy
You're
to.
good. Well, Vinay Jewett just said, we're so glad you're featuring Kendall because she is a rock star. And I think that is true. So hey, we've got a couple of things that I want to talk about, but before you sing, and we would love to hear you sing. I'm getting blown up by text messages right now, going, make her sing. But here's the thing: I can't make Kendall do anything. She usually makes me do stuff. So it's been a long time since she worked for me. I now work for her. But anyway, so we'll ask her to sing here in a minute. But you and I were talking. I think it was Friday, and we were talking about just how amazing this thing is. After Ryan and Laura, and they threw in Larry, and they threw in $5 a vote for PJ, and we started kind of thinking, oh my God, and then we got Mike White calling in, we got John Bettis calling in, we got Dave Thomas calling in, and others wanted to support this, and we were just kind of like, part of the idea when we came up with this idea is we wanted to give people money because that's fun. It's more fun when you win something, right? And so we gave all of the semifinalists $500 and then $500 to their favorite charity. But if you went to the finals, you got $1,000. It went from 500 then to 1,000. You got 1,000 to yourself and then to your charity. And part of that whole idea was we wanted to kind of match. We didn't want it to terminate on ourselves. We wanted to give money to the individual. However, we wanted to give money to their favorite charity and who they were passionate about supporting. And I asked you the other day on Friday, I said, I'm sorry, I think we were talking about, I was like, man, I'm sorry you didn't get to participate because I mean, you kind of started all this thing. And that was kind of an awkward deal. I was like, hey, I don't think you can participate because you've already got your own little following here. But I said, who would you support? What was your favorite charity that you would support? And you mentioned a charity that we've supported here at Integrity a little bit, and I wanted just to maybe have you tell a little bit about who you were thinking of and why.
Yeah, that was a really easy question, and I said that I would have supported Union Gospel Mission in Dallas. I know that name will sound familiar to many here in the Dallas office and some of our leaders across the organization. It's a local organization here in Dallas, and they provide food and shelter and discipleship for men and women in need across the Dallas area. So in the Dallas office, we've had an opportunity now to volunteer there. We've gone and served some meals, and we've cleaned tables and cleaned chairs, and just had a really good time as a team, and then also getting to know some of the clients and leadership there at Union Gospel Mission. It's just a really worthy cause that's been around in Dallas for quite some time, and I know fills a huge need within the community here. So they're just amazing. Every time we get to go down there, it's just really wonderful to see the work that they're doing.
Yeah, well, I agree completely. And actually, I asked Pastor Bruce Butler, who is the CEO of Union Gospel Mission, to join us today. He's the special guest that we were getting checked in. And so, Pastor Butler, are you there with us?
Yes, I am, Bryan.
Well, hey, buddy. Well, thank you so much for joining. And I know this, we kind of caught you off guard saying, hey, jump on this podcast and do these things. Here at Integrity, so our Integrity is built around offices all over the country. And our mission, our passion is to help Americans plan for one of the toughest days of their life. And what that means for us is when somebody goes into a hospital, we want to have a health insurance plan for them. Or when they go into a nursing home, we want to have a long-term care or short-term care plan for them. Or when they pass away, we want to have a life insurance plan for them. Or as they get into retirement, we want to have annuity products for them so that they can have a good life. And that is, we're the largest life and health insurance agency in the country now. And one of the things that we did is we started thinking about really focusing on service and how do we serve people better. One of the things we did about a year or so ago is we came up with this concept that we wanted to bring key executives from all over the country in. And we brought in, I think, 40 executives. And I wanted to teach them, I wanted to experientially teach them how to be served and how to serve. And so we went to Four Seasons, and we stayed at the Four Seasons. We ate at the Four Seasons, and Four Seasons provides some of the best service possible, and they pampered us. And then we went to Nordstrom's, and Nordstrom's is known for just amazing service. And so we shopped together, and we just learned about the Nordstrom's philosophy. And then we went to a flight museum, and we talked about Southwest Airlines and how they have fun when serving. And so we learned how to be served. And then we went to the Union Gospel Mission, and it was on a February night, super cold, and we passed out 350 coats and socks and gloves and other things to all the people who are part of the Union Gospel Mission, and we helped sweep the floors, and we helped serve food, and we helped participate in serving. And I can tell you, to a person, everybody who was there that night would say that they loved Four Seasons. They really enjoyed Nordstrom's. We had a lot of fun talking about Southwest Airlines. But the thing that had the biggest impact was being able to give back and to serve others. And if we had to pick any of those items again, everybody would come back to your place to help serve people who needed help. In fact, some of our team here in Dallas have actually gone back to your mission, and it's just been a blessing to see. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what Union Gospel Mission does, and kind of what you guys, how long you've been around, what you guys do here in Dallas?
For sure. And Bryan, I just want to start off by saying thank you to you for all that you're doing. And just to let you know, we serve about 700 people individually around Dallas. We serve men, women, children by offering services that include shelter, meals, education, job training skills, workout facilities, religious studies, and so much more. And we were blessed last year to celebrate our 70th year of service. And we were thrilled at the various times that people from your organization came out and blessed us. And as you might guess, we've been extremely busy in our community during this COVID-19 time. Yeah. We basically do things to try to help teach people how to fish rather than just give them a fish and restore their lives.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. So literally, for those on the call, here in Dallas, there's a large homeless population, just like other cities around the world. And every night, Union Gospel Mission, part of your mission, this is just part of it. It doesn't mean it's all your mission, but you guys literally pick people up from under bridges, in different areas, and they hop on buses and they come in and you feed them food, you give them clothes, you have where we were at, in just one of your local areas, we had you had 350 men there.
Right.
All had a warm bed to sleep in that night. You had a church service that they could actually attend. You talking about, and these were people that, man, their lives were changed by just you guys opening up. But you also have really high standards. They have to follow guidelines and rules, and they have to be on a track to do, to get out of that path, as you said, to teach them to fish. And I love that about what you guys are doing there, and it's been an honor to watch the impact that you guys have on the city and to support it as well.
Right, it's been an honor for us when organizations such as yours come beside us and encourage us and help out and volunteer. That kind of puts an extra pep in our step so that we can go even farther.
Well, I don't know. Listen, I've met you. I don't know if you need any more pep in your step. You got a lot of pep in your step, as does your team, because you guys are inspirational yourself. But listen, I know with COVID-19 and then everything else that's going on in the country right now, you guys, I'm sure, have been carrying an extra burden and have continued to have to carry that weight throughout the this time. And so I just want to tell you on a personal level that we're praying for you guys and are committed to continue to come down there. In fact, I had one of our team members in Atlanta just send me a text, and she said, this is a lady from Atlanta, Georgia, that was part of this team that we brought there, and she said, I love that Kendall chose Union Gospel Mission. That was one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my life. I enjoyed serving so much more than being served. Those men at the mission had really touched my heart. And that was from Angie Stedham in our Atlanta office. And so what you guys are doing and inviting us in, man, like inviting us to be able to participate. I remember, and you guys set high standards. I remember Tony Light, one of our guys from our Atlanta office, was sweeping the floor, and they were like, hold on, you didn't sweep it good enough. You've got to sweep it again, which was awesome. And I remember Jill Henderson in our Pittsburgh office was, really helping one of your people connect with his family again on Facebook and other things. And there's so many amazing memories about that. And so what we've done, as you've kind of heard, is we've asked people who their favorite charity is here, and we wanted to support them as part of this. Unfortunately, Kendall, as you heard, wasn't able to participate in this contest that we had. And because of that, she was kind of left out, and we didn't. And she would have picked your charity, Union Gospel Mission, as she said, if she would have been able to participate. And so we wanted just to take a moment to visit with Kendall and to share some of our thoughts around Kendall and all that she's done. She's super passionate about you guys and what you guys are doing down there. And we wanted to invite you in on this as well, because we want to make sure that we support your mission as well. And so my wife and I personally would like to give you and Union Gospel Mission $5,000 to help you guys during this time, and to continue to help the people that you are helping with. And so we'll be sending you $5,000, Union Gospel Mission $5,000 to help. And then we also want to commit to looking for ways to keep staying alongside of you, and looking for ways that we can continue to support here in Dallas. We support charities all over the country, but we want to be able to do that with your group as we bring in people. Integrity is a service company. One of our core values is service, and having an opportunity and an outlet to serve alongside of you guys has blessed us way more than we could bless you guys. And so in Kendall's honor, in Kendall's name, we're going to give you $5,000, and I hope that is just the beginning to continue to support the mission that God's called you guys to, and that you've invited us into. So thank you again, Pastor Bruce, for joining us, my friend.
And thank you and your wife and all the Integrity family for your very generous, incredible donation to us. And for sure, we look forward to partnering with you guys in the future, and give your wife a hug from all of us, and a big thanks.
Well, I sure will, but it's all in Kendall's honor, and thank you again for joining us, and God bless you guys. Really appreciate you guys for doing everything that you do. Hey, Pastor Bruce, Kendall can sing. You should stick around, because we're about to hear her sing.
Yeah, I've heard that. All right.
Yeah, don't leave yet, because you're going to enjoy this. So Kendall, you want to say something, Pastor Bruce?
Pastor Bruce, thank you so much for coming on. I'm a little speechless right now. I had no idea that today was going to start like this, and it's just been wonderful. And again, I'm just so honored. Bryan, thank you, and Robin, so much. This means a lot, and I think it's going to go a long way for sure. Thank you for your generosity, and Pastor Bruce, thank you so much for your leadership at Union Gospel Mission.
Amen. And thank you for being a champion for the causes of taking care of the last, the least, the lost, and the hungry, the poor. God bless.
Well, we're praying for you guys and appreciate you for doing all of those things. So, Kendall, I know we caught you off guard. You weren't even expecting Pastor Bruce, because I know that you're really passionate about. But this has been a lot of fun. But we would love to hear you sing. Would you? What do you have in mind today? This wouldn't be an Inspired podcast if we didn't have somebody sing. So, what do you have in mind today? And we'd love to hear it.
Well, I was going to do A Whole New World from Disney's Aladdin, because I was just thinking that, being with integrity and where we are today, it's just a whole new world. So let's sing about it. I'm going to try to sing anyway after you just made me cry, so we'll see how that goes. I can show you the world, shining, shivering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one could tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Wow, Kendall. Kendall, thank you. Thank you so much. Man, just to recap, this has been an emotional one for me. So I wanted to share a couple of things real fast before we wrap up. Man, thank you, Pastor Bruce. That was amazing to hear from you. I also, as we were going in, one of the things I found is generosity begets generosity, meaning when people around, like whenever people see like people being generous, people want to be generous. And in this whole new world like that we're living in, I think we all need to slow down, be more patient, be more kind, listen more, try to learn from each other, and try to give. Every time you give, you truly, I think, you just can't outgive God in a lot of ways. But I think we find that that people are, whenever you give, you just feel better, and you want to do more. And since we've been on this call, Steve Bugg just texted me that he would like to give $2,500 to the favorite charity, to the winner's charity for Integrity Idol. And then Tom and Maggie Fleming out of Pittsburgh said that they were going to match the $5 a vote for the next 1,000 votes for the winner. And so, my guy says another, like, we're going to raise $100,000 by the time this is all said and done for charity, and we hadn't even really planned on doing all that much. This has just been unbelievable. So thank you, Steve Bugg. Thank you, Tom and Maggie. You guys are just so generous. You're the best people we know. And so just want to say thank you for everybody joining us today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is a big day. We're going to replay some of the great times we've had with our finalists, Candy, Patrick, Cameron, Alyssa, and PJ. we've also got some surprises in store, and we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. So listen, until tomorrow, we love you all. Hope you all have a great day and can't wait for another great Inspire podcast tomorrow. God bless you all. We look forward to talking to you. Kendall, thank you so much. You're the best. Appreciate you. Congratulations.